Hey guys, welcome to the Creative Entrepreneur. Today we're going to be talking about using Pinterest to catapult your business. You don't want to miss this episode, so stay tuned.
Coming to you from San Antonio, Texas. Welcome to the Creative Entrepreneur, a podcast created to help entrepreneurs build their business. Branding, marketing, analytics, positioning, and lead generation, plus interviews with other business owners to learn from their successes and failures. Now, here is your host, Abel Garza.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Creative Entrepreneur. Today we have an amazing guest for you. We have Laura Rike on the line today. We're going to be talking about building your business through Pinterest. This is a particularly interesting topic for me because I'm not very familiar with Pinterest, so I'm really excited to have her on the show today. She has built her business through experience and has increased her monthly viewership to over 2 million. So please help me welcome Laura Rike. How are you doing today?
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure having you on the show today, and we get to talk about Pinterest. I'm not very familiar with how it works, so I'm really excited to learn from you and your experience. So why don't you start out by giving me a little bit of information as to who you are, what you do, and how you help your customers.
Absolutely. So I am Laura Rike. I am a rogue Pinterest powerhouse, and I help high-performing business owners and content creators and influencers grow profitably the right way with sustainable solutions and systems. I do this because I want them to be able to be found first without tantrums over tech or trading sleep for success. So that's what I focus on.
Well, that's always a good thing because we don't want to be over focused on, and stressed out about certain things, and we want to make sure that our business is doing good. And apparently Pinterest is a really great way to catapult your business. And one of the three things that I'd like to know is really, how do I start out with Pinterest, and what are the three things that I need to get started?
Yeah, that is an amazing question. The first thing that I really want everyone to focus on is the fact that Pinterest is not a social media platform. I really want people to understand that it is a search-based platform. So it works very similar like Google. And so you want to focus on using it differently than how you may be using it for your social media strategies. The two biggest things that you're going to want to focus on in your strategy is the design portion, making things look aesthetically pleasing to your audience, making them want to actually click through on things. And then the second thing is, because it is a search-based platform, is making sure that you have the phrases and the keywords that people are going to actually look for and are searching because they have problems that they need solved right now.
The other things that we would need to start, I guess, getting on Pinterest, is it like, do we need to build an account? Is it something that we need to do? Because it's search-based, I mean, how important is it for us to put in the metadata and everything that is involved with the photos? Because I'm assuming it's photo-based, right? So once you search for a type of photo, then all of the, I guess, similar type of photos come on. Am I correct by saying that?
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
Great. And so, yes, you do need an account. If you already have content on a website, then yes, you do want to focus on that metadata. You want to make sure that you have the alt text in your images. A cool trick that I tell people too is, when you're saving an image, make sure that the title of that image also has the keywords and phrases too, because that can be searched. And so when you're setting up your account, everything that you do, from your profile name to your bio, descriptions, everything should have the same type of qualities that you would do on a website for search engine.
So are we looking at quality of photo, or are we looking at quantity? I mean, am I going to continually post something to get the amount of viewership that I need, or should I just focus on the quality of the photo?
While most focus on the quantity, and Pinterest does like to have the sustainability and the credibility of someone posting regularly on the platform, I ask people to focus on the quality. You can have the same result searching for different terms. And so if you think about it that way, even if you have one blog post, you can create multiple different images and phrases that lead to that quality content. And so that's where I say you can kind of kill two birds with one stone, but you really want to focus on the quality of it.
Yeah, I totally get that, because a lot of times I ask, we're in the photography business here. So
Yeah.
if you don't already know that, photography, videography. So whenever a customer comes to us, we typically just say, go to Pinterest, put a board together, email us the board so we can get an idea of what it is that you want for your photo shoot, right?
Yep.
And typically they come back with these elaborate, like, high production photos, and it's these like $450 type of sessions, and they're just this huge production value photo. And then I'm just like, well, okay, wait a minute, maybe I should stop sending people over there, because they're going to expect this type of production. But you know what? There's a lot of high production, and there's a lot of quality photos in there. And with regard to that, we can duplicate any photo. So it's only a matter of searching for the type of photo that they want, and then we can go ahead and duplicate that. But as far as getting into Pinterest, and I have to admit, being in the photography business, I have completely neglected Pinterest, and I'm not sure whether or not that is a mistake or not, because I'm sure that you can get a lot of visibility through this platform as a photographer. I mean, your entire business is based off of photos, and Pinterest is a photo-based platform. So, as a photographer, how would that benefit me?
Oh my gosh, such a great question. I've actually worked with photographers, and I've actually written articles specifically for photography. So some of the creative ways that you can be on Pinterest for a photography business is you can actually use this to help your clients and be useful to your clients. So you can go on the platform and see that there are people who talk about if you're doing family photos, right? What to wear, how to make the colors match, things like that. And so you would be able to not only have that content on your website and then feature photography that you've done in the past, but then also use that to build a board that provides that inspiration for others who may not be locally to you to be able to do the photography side of things, but still be able to learn from you in terms of your expertise and your abilities to really make things pop in that photo. So that's just one of the ways. There's a number of different ways, depending on what you focus on as a photographer, whether it's newborn photos, you can help other photographers, figure out different ideas of settings and shots and things like that. So it's not that it's a mistake for you that you haven't been on the platform. It's that it's a new open door opportunity for you to be able to just advance where you're at in your business.
Yeah. So is it less about monetization and more about visibility?
You can go about it both, two different ways with it. It really depends on the quality of the content that you have set up and where you're directing that flow of individuals. So for me, I started out as a virtual assistant way back when, and I used Pinterest to find inspiration and teach people how to work with a virtual assistant specifically. When I started figuring out how to monetize the things that I was also teaching them, though, I was able to use different affiliate links. I was able to put my own digital products on there. And then I also was able to create that kind of sales flow for myself to bring in enough clients, where my VA business back in the day was like overly sustainable, and then had to kind of switch gears on how I was running things.
So you used your own experience to help other people. That's great. That's great. Now, in looking at this, I mean, there's so many platforms out there. People are utilizing all kinds of social media. It's almost a job in itself just to get your profile updated, get your social media all updated, and there's certain programs out there, obviously, that you can blast them to all 50,000 platforms out there. But, you got the main ones is Facebook, you have Instagram and Pinterest, you got LinkedIn, and depending on the business that you're in, it almost dictates what, because Instagram is primarily photo based, just like Pinterest. But like you mentioned earlier, it's not a social media platform. This is more of a search engine. Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying? Okay, so
Yeah.
as a search engine, and you're looking at, I'm assuming like a Google for photos.
Yeah.
So it should be important to make sure that you have that type of organic search. And now, how do I go about in getting that organic search? Because I don't want to pay any more than I need to. So how can I get that organic search?
That is an amazing question. So the biggest way is and we'll play off of the time part that you brought in there too. The biggest part is to look up and search yourself for the phrases that other people would be searching to find your services, your content, your products right on the Pinterest platform. What works really well, and no discouragement to anybody out there that's a business owner, but you're not going to have as much domain authority on your website as Pinterest is. It's just never going to happen because the amount of authority that they already have with Google is phenomenal. And so we can use that to feed off of their authority. When we look up the right key terms and phrases on Google and on Pinterest and use those in the pin titles, in the image design, and in the descriptions, then people can not only search on Google to be able to find those pins and click through that to your content, but they also can use that on Pinterest to find your content and click through to learn more. So whether it's a product, whether it's a service, whether it's informational based, it really doesn't matter. The biggest part of it is making sure that you take the time in the beginning to compile a list of the different phrases and keywords and things that you do want to be found for organically, so that over time you can sort through that list, just grab them quick, and then put your content out there. That way you're not going through and having to search every single time you want to post a new service or a new blog or whatever it is, a new landing page, but you have that compiled already because you took the time out to be able to put that together.
Oh, that's an interesting perspective, or actually a great technique. But my question for that is, how do I know that my phrases are even effective or even searchable? I mean, what if I type in like, I want to put together super duper ultra uber best photographer in the world?
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, no, that's a good,
so
awesome sentence. I love it. The best way to be able to do that is to utilize Pinterest. So when you go into Pinterest, there's actually a search bar at the top of the platform. And when you type in what you think would be a good key phrase or word to use, it will show you suggestions.
Okay.
So first, it'll give you the first 5 drop-down suggestions, and those are going to be phrases that other people have highly populated into the search feed. Then when you click enter on what you wanted to look for, underneath that, you're going to see like little tiles across the top right under that search bar. And those are other ways that people, like, say, for example, you typed in photography and then somebody said photography for newborns. So under the search bar, you'd have photography in there, and then under it in one of those titles, it might say for newborns. And so that's kind of how you put everything together to compile that phrase or that list of things that you want to eventually rank for organically.
So is it more like a breadcrumb type of situation where, you type in photographer, headshot photographer for commercial use, or headshot photographer for business, and then you just start to hone in on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Awesome. And so you've been doing this for a while. You've been utilizing your techniques. How are you helping your customers with this?
Great question. So the biggest way that I help them is to teach them how to be able to do this in under 1 hour a week. We all have a ton going on. We all have a ton of family stuff and business stuff and just overall life. So I want to be able to help them learn the strategy where they can take these tools and quickly get it turned out there with the quality involved. So they don't have to be getting sucked into the Pinterest black hole, is what we call it, where you get stuck looking for all these words or creating these designs. And so I teach them how to create templates for their own brand that they can use over and over again. They'll batch process these and have loads of amazing images that they can use over and over. And I talked to them about like what we had just mentioned, the lists to make sure you have those phrases and the breadcrumbs involved. And then really other tools that they have available to them, like Tailwind, to schedule out at the best times. So you can schedule out in advance and make sure that it's running for the visibility aspect of when your viewers are more active on the platform.
Is that the only tool that you utilize for scheduling?
That is the only
Tailwind?
platform that
Okay.
I use. The reason being is because they're a preferred partner. And so they work closely with Pinterest. They actually do a number of one-on-one training videos live on their Facebook page with Pinterest reps directly. So I know and trust that they have our best interest in mind, and that anything that they're going to put on the platform for us is going to make it so that we're within the guidelines of the best practices for that platform.
So what are some of the challenges you find that many of your customers face? I mean, we have to create the content, we have to book the content with scheduling. What are some of the challenges that some of your customers or even yourself face when doing this?
Yeah, so the biggest challenge, and if I can be so harsh as to say the biggest mistake that most of us are making, is costing us a lot of time and money, is not repurposing the content you already have. Just because it is a content-based platform and a search engine-based platform doesn't mean you have to constantly feed it. You do with the images, but if you set up the right processes for those templates, then you can repurpose content that you've used in the past. I was just on a call with someone earlier today, actually, and she was like, well, don't want to do Pinterest organic right now because I don't want to get back into the mode of blogging. And I looked at her website and she had 19 pages of articles already written. They're already monetized. They already have links to her landing pages and email captures and everything. And so to be able to teach her how she can cut her time in half and repurpose that without adding one more thing on her plate is really the biggest thing for her, because even though Pinterest is a long-term game and you can grow it organically, you can get that benefit from the emails and the sales and the services if you work on repurposing stuff that you already have that you know people are loving by using the analytics to figure out what people are already looking for that you're providing.
So the templates that you're talking about, are these templates that you provide or are these templates that you get from Tailwind?
Great question. So there's a number of different places that have general templates. Canva actually provides their own general templates that people can use on their platform. I do put together 25 plus click-worthy image designs for them. And I actually have packages where I do it niche specific. So I will do real estate agents. They'll have their own package of templates that they can take and use. And I really suggest, whether it's mine or someone else's, you focus on niche specific, because if you do go to a platform like Canva or Tailwind that's providing them to you, they're going to look aesthetically pleasing, but they may not be in the best practice for capturing those that are looking for your niche specific topics and ideas.
I don't want to get too much off topic, but I wanted to ask you this. You mentioned real estate agents, and I know it's continually evolving. There's a lot of turnover with regard to, houses. What are they listing as a real estate agent? What are you putting on Pinterest?
There are a number of things. I actually have an article on my website to help that niche specific because of the times that are going on right now. And there are so many things that they can do. There are things that they can talk about, like how to get your home ready in the summer, or if you are planning to sell in the fall, what steps you need to take. And so those are different things that they can put on an infographic, or they can read an article on their Facebook page, or LinkedIn does LinkedIn Pulse. If they don't have access to doing articles direct on their listing website, there are a number of other places that they can put that information and then be able to help the people that are searching for that
Oh,
right
I see.
now. And then again, with searchability and key phrases, just make sure that you're using location specific. So if someone's looking to sell their house in the fall, put, are you in Minnesota looking to sell your house in the fall? These are some tips that you cannot avoid.
Oh, I
And
see.
those things really help them kind of
But see, that's how
bring in
unfamiliar
that audience.
that's how unfamiliar I am with Pinterest. I didn't know that you could do that, but I guess you can put like just some phraseology, something that identifies what you do, how you do it, or maybe you're an expert in certain things, and you can put that on like a thumbnail. Is that what you're saying? Just put it on like
Yep.
and then just link it to a landing page and go that route, or maybe an article.
Yep. So anywhere that you have a conversation with your type of ideal client or audience,
Mm.
or a sales flow or information that you provide to them that is really beneficial, and you have an actual URL, you can link it on Pinterest.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's great information. What are you doing right now on a regular basis that you feel contribute to your success?
Oh, there are so many different things. One of the biggest things is focusing on some of the changes that Pinterest is making in terms of helping us as content creators and service
Hmm.
providers, because they're constantly evolving things to benefit us. And it's different from when I say the algorithm changed on Facebook and now we got to start over. Like, they don't change the game on you every 2 seconds, they improve it for you. So, for example, with the whole pandemic thing that's happening,
Hmm.
for those who are dealing with not being able to offer specific in person events, Pinterest is now offering the ability to link date specific events in certain boards that you provide on your profile, so that you can lead back to where that event is now going to take place virtually.
Hmm.
They're helping provide different topic ideas for even families on how to do virtual birthdays, how to do um, virtual sleepovers. Like, there's a
Oh,
number
wow.
of different things that they are constantly providing to us in terms of the information.
Hmm.
So for me, I really focus on how to take that information that they're providing us and
Hmm.
translate it for the business owners. So if they have a specific niche or topic that, like real estate agents or things like that, that are not widely used on a Pinterest platform, I
Ah,
try to
that makes
help them
sense.
translate how they can utilize these new benefits that Pinterest is giving us
Hmm.
to benefit them as well.
Oh, that makes sense. So we're getting close to the end of the podcast, and I wanted to ask you: is there some philosophy, some words of wisdom that you have to pass down to our listeners?
Philosophy. Hmm. Let's see. I think words of wisdom is, definitely try it. The biggest thing that I do for people that come to me with questions or looking to see if it's going to be viable for their business
Mm.
is I say, okay, go to the platform, type in what you're offering in the search, and if you're finding other businesses or other product owners or service providers or whatever, providing information and opportunity to other individuals, like the widely known visibility, and you're not in that stream of designs, then that's my 100% way to say undeniably you should be. So
Awesome.
if you do nothing else from listening to this today, I would
Hmm.
say just go to Pinterest and see what opportunities are out there for you. that you could start to tackle one by one and add into your strategy so that in the long run, you'll start to see the major effects come down.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't happen right away. That's good. I mean, it's not good that it doesn't happen right away, but get started. And, you need to just get out there and just start, and then you never know, organically or paid. Eventually, it'll start to come together. So,
Yes.
how can our listeners get a hold of you?
Great question. So I actually have a freebie offer for everyone who's listening. If you go to laurarike.com and you do TCE, the Creative Entrepreneur, I have a free PDF that will walk you through the basic steps of getting started in an attraction marketing Pinterest campaign. So if you go to laurarike.com, TCE, you'll be able to get that there. I also have a upcoming masterclass that you're more than welcome to check out. It's laurarike.com/Pinterest master.
Awesome. Well, there you go, guys. Laura Rike, it was a pleasure having you on the show. You're an inspiration to me and our listeners, and I'm so glad to have had you on the show today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was wonderful.
Awesome. It was a pleasure. Hey, guys. Well, there you go, Laura Rike. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Check out thecreativeentrepreneur.net. Be sure to check out laurarike.com/TCE to check out that free information. And until next week, keep on keeping on.
Thank you for listening to The Creative Entrepreneur. Please click the show notes for additional information. Want to know more? Click on the subscribe button and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter by visiting us at tcepodcast.net.